Okay, 3-minute one take. VidCon out, but better. Alright, here we go. Specifically from Jack Conte's talk at VidCon, thinking a lot about creativity and the consistency of it, and sort of the lessons he pulled. And I like mind maps, so I made a little mind map thing, and all the lessons. He used 307 slides. He talked a lot about enrollment and creativity, and how when you create, it still feels like you're creating to nobody, or if you're doing music, creativity always has an aspect, you don't get things immediately, so it still feels like you're doing it for nobody. But that shouldn't stop us from wanting to create things and wanting to do bigger projects and smaller projects. The image he had on his calendar, or not his calendar, his PowerPoint was a bunch of, they look like candles, but they were just dominoes, and every like few dominoes he had a highlighted green one, and that to him represented projects that worked, that built momentum, that created an audience, that sort of had like more of a return on the effort he put in, like what he received out of the effort. And another really, really cool point he talked about is things do not work even after some things do. Just because you succeed at something once doesn't mean that everything else after that will. And he also said, he had another talk, Work to Publish, that was really good. He said you can't choose always what you're famous for. You can create things and you can connect and do a lot of things, and maybe you have some choice sometimes in that, but the sort of response and effect of creativity isn't always, it's not in your control. It's in the response from the audience you're building. So as long as you have output, it will find people that value it in the same way, that can give a return on enjoying what you've created. That's why Patreon exists. That's why Patreon works. That whole system. Make duds until you stop making things, you know. That's how you grow an audience. He talked about grit. He talked about you just get faster even though it doesn't get any easier. You get more understanding in what you're creating and how the process works, how you value the process. Having a zoom out perspective, seeing the big picture. Getting experience in what you're creating. Finish, publish, create. Humans suck at smoothing out data. We're very, very bad at focusing on what works well and what's good and what's successful versus what doesn't work well. It's easier for us to hyper-focus on that and to respond only in what flips our lid, the amygdala, like what scares us, what frightens us. And those are sometimes the duds a lot, if there are more duds than not. So those are some thoughts. What are you thinking about? What is, in terms of what I said, you can watch some of Jack Conte's talks. I'll actually put them in the description below if you'd like to watch. What comes to mind for that? He's just, always enjoy his talks. I got some footage of it, and I got all this VidCon stuff on me. Footage, pictures, everything. Figure out some stuff to do with it. Yeah. Keep being you. DFTBA. We'll see somebody tomorrow. I don't know if anybody was listed. Maybe somebody is right now, but there's a nice, common one take. Thoughtful one take for you. Yeah. Bye-bye. TFTBA.